My name is Vicki Pace.
I'm CJ Bondi.
You're with the Missoula Children's Theater, and that's out of Missoula, Montana.
Yes, indeed, it is.
The company started about 40 years ago back in Montana, and now we travel to all over the country and, in fact, the world.
What kind of things, you come in, you're here for about a week, and tell me a little bit more about that process.
Well, we arrive in a town on Sunday, and we cast kids, up to 64 kids in a show on Monday, and they learn the whole show by Friday or Saturday. This week, the shows are at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock here at the Shuler Theater, so they will have known the whole show and learned all the lines by Saturday.
And the show this week is going to be what?
This show this week is Rapunzel.
And it's a full 1-hour musical. They will have learned their songs, their dances. We'll add costumes and music and lights and sound and all of those kinds of, all of those aspects. And they'll get a chance to work with all of those.
How did the Missoula Theater start?
It started about 40 years ago. It just was a community thing, a theater thing that started working with kids, and a town nearby wanted that show to come in to perform there, and they didn't want to take the kids with them, so they went up to upstate and performed there, and they cast some kids. I think it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Snow White,
yeah, and so they cast 7 kids in there, and it just caught on like wildfire from there. So
now the company goes to all 50 states and 16 other countries as a whole.
That's kind of what because I've heard of the theater in other places in the country, and so it is a very big process. How many are there of you guys?
Right now there are about 50 teams traveling at a time. For the summers, it's our busiest season, so there's about 50 teams all over the world. We're the largest touring children's theater in the country.
Okay, and where do you go from here?
We're going to Angel Fire, New Mexico, so we actually have a pretty short commute this week.
You say short commute. What's your normal commute like?
It can usually I think last season we were mostly doing 6-7 hour drives every Sunday. This season I think it's a mix between this Angel Fire short drive and then I think our longest is 10 hours.
The longest we can have is about 16 hours. You can go about 1,000 miles between, but they try and keep you in the same region.
Okay, and how many kids do we have for the show this week?
We have 38 kids from Raton who are working hard and already started learning their show today after auditions.
They'll range in age from?
We can range in age anywhere from 5 or 6 up to 18.
This week we have kids 5 to 14.
Okay, and what's the show, I know we've all heard the fairy tale about it, but what's it going to really be like?
Rapunzel is about the Madame Gothel who has taken Rapunzel away from her parents as punishment for their kind of misdeed early in the show. And she locks her away in the tower, and of course we see the prince come and try and rescue her, and we have all sorts of fantastical creatures. We have unicorns and pixies and gremlins, and in the end we also talk about learning how to deal with a bully, because Madame Gothel is quite the bully in this show and is not being so nice to Rapunzel or any of the other characters, and we learn how to deal with that.
Okay, and once again, what time are the shows?
The shows are at 3 and 6 o'clock here at the Shuler Theater.
On Saturday. Yes.
Okay, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much.